All the UPSC aspiring students have their idols sitting in front of them. A big, big round of applause, please. Thank you. With the permission of the chair, I would like to start the function. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महिमहिषाम गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. Let the life be governed and nourished by the rulers who follow a path of justice. Let all the animals and the righteous people have goodness, and let all the people be happy. I think this should be the prayer all the governors, administrators, politicians must always pray, which does not just talks about the well-being of all the humans, but well-being of life.
On this note, extending our warm welcome to the dignitaries on the dais and my dear friends, I, Professor Anjali Vamburkar, and my colleague, Professor Gautam Bapat, wish you a hearty welcome on this bright morning. A morning bright, not by the sun glowing, but due to the wonderful success of the UPSC toppers sitting on the dais today. We have amongst us dignitaries like Professor Group Captain D.P. Apte, Dr. R.M. Chitnis, Dr. Mrs. Saili Gankar, Dr. T.N. Murray, Group Captain J.K. Joshi. I appreciate their presence on this special occasion. I also wholeheartedly welcome and congratulate all the successful UPSC candidates for exam 2012, and especially so for the 3 toppers sitting on the dais.
As you all know, UPSC exam is among the toughest examinations in India. To succeed in this exam, all you need is sustained efforts with intelligent preparation. MIT hence salutes all these successful candidates and appreciates their perseverance and intelligence by felicitating them today. To explain and to introduce all of us to the concept of today's event, I welcome a mathematician, statistician, author of many books, and chief convener of Bharatiya Chhatra Sansad, Director of MIT School of Business, Group Captain D.P. Apte sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed pleasure to me for welcoming these toppers in this UPSC exam. We'll be having a felicitation program after 11 o'clock. Till that time, you will have interactive session with these 3 toppers. So many of you are aspiring for cracking this exam, appearing this exam, or preparing for this exam, will be able to learn from them how to go about preparation, how to go about your studies and things like that. Let me first tell you what is the concept behind this, what we are doing here. Many places, many cities and towns, the successful candidates of UPSC are felicitated, awarded. Rightly so, because as Professor Bapat has said, it is one of the toughest exams. And on an average, it takes 2 to 3 years to crack this exam. This exam has got a wide scope to study. It's not focused on one particular subject or something, and therefore it is tougher. You need hard work, you need perseverance to last for a couple of years at least to work towards this exam. You also need not only intelligence quotient but also emotional quotient, so that you don't give up. And during all that time when you are working hard towards this, probably you are not doing anything other than in other areas like professional areas or working for the companies or something like that. So you know that if you are not in selected few, then you will have a tough time after 4 years because you have got a gap of 3 to 4 years in your career. But in spite of that, with this aim in your mind to serve the nation, as IAS or IPS or IRS or one of the civil service cadre. You are all working towards that aim. Now, felicitation is one aspect, and giving you the opportunity to meet these people, giving you opportunities to understand how to go about studies is another aspect. Many of you already must be studying in some institutes who are conducting coaching classes for appearing for UPSC exams or MPSC exams. But they are mainly a theoretical training where the bookwork training is given to you. Probably those training institutes may not have the ready-made information how to go about actually studying. Because that is something beyond your books and studies. And therefore we started this particular UPSC felicitation program about 5 years ago. Let me tell you how it is started to begin with. Here Mr. Rahul Karad, Executive Dean and Director of MIT School of Government, in 2005 thought that we all sit outside the government and blame the government, be it a politician, be it a bureaucrat. We just say they are not doing their job. But how many of us actually take a plunge and say, okay, I'll get into that and I'll change it, I'll be the change. So therefore in 2005 MIT School of Government was launched, first school of its kind in Asia to train aspiring politicians or students who want to get into politics. This is started in 2005. But after a few years we realized that with that particular school only a handful of students can be trained. Well, everyone can't spend 1 year here and study by paying fees. So we can't reach out to the large number. Therefore the second aspect apart from politicians was the civil service exams. Therefore we started a couple of initiatives 5 years ago. One is this UPSC Successful Candidates Felicitation. Along with that some kind of interaction. We also started a center in MIT School of Business where we don't actually conduct the training classes because there are enough available. What we provide is study center, that is library and place to study, because we realize that many students come from small towns. They can't afford a nice place to sit, quiet place to sit and study. They may not be able to afford the books. So we have got a library with the books which are required for preparing for UPSC, and we also have got a place to sit so that you can sit up to even a night up to 10 o'clock and study there quietly. We charge a very small token fee for that, and books are issued and you have to only pay the deposit for the amount of books. Okay, idea is not to make a money out of that, but encourage the students to take these exams. Next initiative we started 3 years ago was Bharat Chhatra Sansad, Bharatiya Chhatra Sansad. Many of you may be already aware. So we said even with this UPSC we reach only maybe hundreds of students, not thousands, and not pan-India. So we started this Bharatiya Chhatra Sansad. With this Bharatiya Chhatra Sansad, about 10,000 students from all over India, student leaders, who are sensitive to the social cause, they assemble here, stay here for 3 days and listen to top visionaries, maybe about 80 to 100 visionaries. They come and speak during that period. They are from politics, they are from bureaucrats, they are from police services, they are from social services, they are from academicians, scientists, you name the area, and they will come here and speak. All who's who are there, right from Dr. APJ Kalam had also come here, Dalai Lama had come here. So those kind of stalwarts, they come and address the students. That is to sensitize the youth for joining politics or bureaucracy for nation building. To take this forward now, this year we are launching one more program. And after this session is during felicitation, I'll explain you what that program is. We are starting not only this felicitation and interactive, because this interactive program again remains only today, one day. Today we have got a program now. This award is toppers, 3 toppers will be speaking to you. They will be taking your questions, answering the questions. But again, you are 2,400 students here. There is a limitation. After the felicitation is over, we'll also have afternoon in MIT campus at Swami Vivekananda Hall, another interactive session. It will run for about 3.5 hours. That will be in the small groups. So those of you, in fact all of you are invited for that particular function. There, depending on which room you are having this interactive program, because we will be splitting you into few small groups. Then you will be interacting with all successful candidates or panel of successful candidates there for more closer interaction or direct interaction. That will be in the afternoon after lunch. So after this program is over by around 2:30, you can finish your quick lunch on the way and reach at MIT campus, Swami Vivekananda Hall, by about 3:30. So 3:30 the session will start. There is also interactive session between chief guests today, those who are coming, and those who are successful candidates, because they also would like to know what next. They have completed the exam, they are selected. What is next? What kind of service they are joining, and that kind of their aspirations. So they are also going to get a chance to interact first session with those who are with those dignitaries, and after that these selected candidates will interact with you all to clarify your doubts. But we are not going to stop only at that. This year we are starting another scheme which is called the Mentor-Mentee scheme, that throughout the 3 years mentorship program for all those who are aspiring students. That I will of course explain you in the next session when we have got a felicitation program. That time this particular will be opened, they will be inaugurated, and there I will explain you. So this is in brief, in nutshell, I told you what initiatives MIT group is taking, particularly Mr. Rahul Karad, who is quite interested in this teaching learning program for those who are getting into government. Government means, you know that there are 3 pillars, any one of the pillars, whosoever is getting in, all the facilities will be provided. Because MIT is not a specialized institute to train competitive exams, therefore we are not venturing into that. We are primarily in engineering, medical, management, pharmacy, science, commerce, arts, polytechnics, that kind of training institute. Therefore, we are not getting into coaching classes or that kind of training programs, but we are definitely going to assist all the students who are interested, besides whatever you are already taking coaching classes. With that, I thank you for coming here in big number, and now we are on for further program.
Thank you so much, sir. It was definitely an informative interaction. I'm sure all sitting here, the aspiring UPSC candidates, will take benefit of the provisions made by MIT. Myers MIT School of Government, fondly called as MITSOG, is the first institute of its kind in India and in Asia to initiate a 1-year full-time residential academic program titled Master's Program in Government, or MPG. This is for a career in politics. It's different. It is a school pursuing a vision of better government, stronger societies, and richer human opportunities across the world. The thought of creating a path for educated, capable, and deserving youngsters who have a will to pursue a career in politics is a foundation of MIT School of Government. Definitely a commendable attempt in correcting whatever that is going on in politics as on date. Let us see a film on MIT SOG to give us more insight into it.
भारत देश को दुनिया में सबसे विकसित देश को लिस्ट में लाने के लिए क्या क्या करना है, तो उसके लिए लोगों को तैयार करना है, नौजवानों को तैयार करना है। पॉलिटिक्स में जरूर सरकार ने।
अगर आप राजनीति में जाना चाहते हैं तो अब आपके लिए बाकायदा 1 साल का कोर्स मौजूद है।
International Institute at Pune shall welcome a 60-strong first batch.
वर्तमान भारत को आवश्यकता है एक प्रोत्साहित युवा पीढ़ी की, जो प्रेरित होती है एक सर्वंकष विशाल दृष्टिकोण से और इच्छा रखती है बिना किसी शर्त के देश की सेवा करने की। ठीक इन्हीं विचारों ने प्रेरित किया पुणे स्थित मायर्स MIT शिक्षा समूह के संस्थापकों को।
This program of MIT School of Government is being run under the UNESCO Chair program, which has been bestowed on this institution, the first of its kind in not only in India but in the whole of Southeast Asia.
In year 2005 we established, while the one-year full-time residential program, the first school in the country to develop the future politicians. That was a concept, and consistently since 2005 till now, a very small number of 40-50 people, they apply for this program from across the country, all the states they participate, and we take them to panchayats, corporation, Vidhan Sabha, Lok Sabha, good villages, good constituencies, bad constituencies. For the comparative study we take them to House of Commons, House of Lords. So very rigorous training of various comparative study of democracies and governance models of various nations we teach them.
मायर्स MIT के इस हरितोत्साहित परिसर में पनप रही है एक ऐसी विशेष संस्था जो नीतिवान तथा प्रबुद्ध नेताओं का संगोपन कर रही है। इस बात की पुष्टि की है जनमान्य राजनीतिज्ञ और उनकी पार्टियों ने।
I must compliment Mr. Rahul Karad in particular, who's pursuing this course.
The aim of a politician is to serve the people.
So your job is going to be a tough one. It's not all that easy.
We are seeing that just as India has a remarkable ability in the field of science and technology, it has an even greater ability in the field of spiritualism and religion.
If somebody asked me to describe the biggest achievement of India after independence in one sentence, I would say preservation of parliamentary democracy without interruption.
Hello, I am Rajan Kalsotra from MPG 08 batch and I am from Jammu and Kashmir. I have got the opportunity to meet India's top political personalities, and I have got the very good opportunity of internship in Rambau Mahalagi Prabodhani.
Hello everyone, I am Raghavendra DVL from Hyderabad. I am the participant of MPG 08 batch. MIT SOG has widened my exposure both theoretically and practically towards the Indian political system and governance.
MIT School of Government में शिक्षा की आधुनिकतम सुविधाएं उपलब्ध हैं, जिनमें हैं वातानुकूलित कक्षाएं और जो उच्चतम ध्वनि चित्र व्यवस्था से लैस हैं और 2000 से भी अधिक पुस्तकों से सुसज्जित लाइब्रेरी। इस लाइब्रेरी में 200 से अधिक राष्ट्रीय तथा अंतर्राष्ट्रीय पत्रिकाएं भी उपलब्ध हैं। इसी के साथ अत्याधुनिक निवास व्यवस्था भी उपलब्ध की जाती है, जिसमें भोजन गृह, इंटरनेट तथा टीवी कक्ष, वैद्यकीय सुविधा, अंदरी व बाहरी खेलकूद की सुविधा इत्यादि शामिल हैं। MPG छात्रों को केवल सबल प्रशिक्षार्थी ही नहीं बनाता, बल्कि जीवन की व्यावहारिकता से अवगत कराता है। छात्र स्वयं अपने चुनिंदा भविष्यकालीन मार्ग की रचना यहाँ करते हैं, जो कि लोकतंत्र की राजनैतिक तथा प्रशासनिक संस्थाओं पर आधारित है। आज मिडसॉक के 50 से भी अधिक भूतपूर्व छात्र कांग्रेस तथा भाजपा जैसे राष्ट्रीय पक्षों में कार्यरत हैं, जो MPG की सफलता का निश्चित संकेत है। MIT स्कूल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट में आइए, ये आपके ज्ञान का स्तर तो बढ़ाएगा ही, साथ ही एक उज्जवल भविष्य भी साकार करेगा। MIT स्कूल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट आधुनिक भारत को प्रगतिशील व प्रशिक्षित नेतृत्व प्रदान करने वाली भारत की एकमात्र प्रबुद्ध संस्था।
Calls for a big round of applause an institution which is unique not just in city, not just in nation, but in whole continent. A big, big round of applause, please. Thank you. I now invite Mr. Ashish Lal, who's Head of Promotions at MIT School of Government, to give us more information about MIT SOG. Mr. Ashish Lal, please.
Our respected merit holders of UPSC Civil Services Examination 2012, our directors from MIT Group of Institutions, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, my dear fellow students and aspirants from UPSC Civil Services Examination who are preparing for next year's exam, students from MIT Group of Institutions, and my dear friends. I humbly share greetings of MIT School of Government with you, and I take this opportunity to introduce you to the MIT School of Government. आप सभी ने अभी एक छोटी फिल्म MIT School of Government के बारे में देखी है, और आपने इसमें ये भी देखा है कि this is one program which is a full-time program, one-year program, which has got a mix of practical studies as well as theoretical studies. I want to share a few more things which we have already seen in the film also, that this is the only institute in India which is having this one-year full-time program about offering careers in politics and government. आपने देश में बहुत सारे संस्थान देखे होंगे जो मैनेजमेंट, लॉ, मेडिकल, इंजीनियरिंग, कॉमर्स और बहुत सारे फील्ड्स के अंदर आज करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज प्रोवाइड करते हैं थ्रू वेरियस एजुकेशनल प्रोग्राम्स. बट आई वांट टू अगेन रिपीट, दिस इज द ओनली इंस्टीट्यूट in India, in fact in Asia, which is having this one-year full-time master's program, a leadership program for careers in politics and government. ये जो एक साल का पाठ्यक्रम है, इसको हम टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज के माध्यम से चला रहे हैं. वी हैव गॉट एन एकेडमिक अलायंस विद टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज, और ये प्रोग्राम हमारे MIT कैंपस कोथरूड में चलाया जाता है. दिस one-year program, the highlights of this program are, ये एक पाठ्यक्रम ऐसा है जिसमें 40% of the time we are spending in classroom. The teaching is through classroom lectures where we cover various aspects of the subjects, and 60% of the time we are spending on field. आप सोच रहे होंगे कि 60% टाइम जो हम फील्ड के अंदर बिताते हैं वो हम किस तरह से स्टडीज हमारी होती हैं. So basically in the experiential learning part, we are having study tours. We have got a study tour for election management. For example, how elections are conducted in any state or general assembly elections. What is exactly constituency management? अगर आपको किसी MLA, MP, कॉर्पोरेटर किनके संग आप किसी के साथ आपको काम करने का अगर मौका मिलता है तो उनकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी कैसे मैनेज करना चाहिए, दैट इज अनदर एस्पेक्ट थ्रू आवर स्टडी टूर. इन दिस प्रोग्राम वी आर ऑल्सो ऑफरिंग 3 months इंटर्नशिप्स. आप देखते हैं कि मैनेजमेंट और इंजीनियरिंग और लॉ कोर्सेज के अंदर यू हैव टू डू इंटर्नशिप फॉर मे बी 1 month or 2 months. In this program, during this 1 year, we are offering 3 months of internship with various political leaders and political offices, and this opportunity you get through MIT School of Government. एक और चीज़ जो मैं इसके संग आपको जोड़ना चाहता हूँ, because I have lot of friends here who are preparing for civil services. I want to tell you friends that you must be preparing theoretically very well for UPSC Civil Services exam, but the kind of practical exposure we are giving in MIT School of Government that can help you tomorrow in actually understanding the grassroots problems of development, of infrastructure, relationship between politicians and bureaucracy, role of judiciary, role of media in government. So these are the aspects that we are covering in 1 year full-time master's program in government. Second thing I want to tell you is this 1 year program, we have got limited seats, that is 60. इस कोर्स के अंदर सिर्फ 60 सीट्स हैं, और इसके अंदर ऑल इंडिया से टिल डेट वी हैव सीन पीपल आर अप्लाइंग फ्रॉम 15 स्टेट्स. इस एक साल के पाठ्यक्रम के लिए मिनिमम 15 राज्यों से स्टूडेंट हर साल इस कोर्स को ज्वाइन करने के लिए आते हैं, और इसमें इस वक्त काफ़ी कंपटीशन भी होता है. तो मेरी ये रिक्वेस्ट है, अगर आप चाहें, इफ़ यू आर स्लाइटली इंटरेस्टेड, यू वांट टू ज्वाइन दिस प्रोग्राम फुली, and many of you who are preparing for civil services in Pune, you can think of joining this program even now. The admissions are open for this 1 year full-time master's program, and my colleagues are there outside, just auditorium के बाहर हमारा एक information kiosk, एक stall भी है, अगर आप चाहें तो वहाँ से information ले सकते हैं. दूसरी चीज़, आप सभी के पास ये फोल्डर आज पहुँचा होगा, इसके साथ प्रोग्राम की डिटेल्स और जो हमारा फेलिसिटेशन प्रोग्राम है उसकी भी डिटेल्स आपके पास हैं. आप ये भी पढ़ सकते हैं, इसमें हमारी सारी जानकारियाँ, वेबसाइट, ईमेल आईडी एंड कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर्स, ये सारी चीज़ें दी हुई हैं. इसके साथ आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि दूसरा प्रश्न ये आता है कि अगर इस कोर्स को हम करना चाहते हैं तो हम किस प्रकार से करें. सो वी हैव प्रोवाइडेड फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट से दो चीज़ें आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. पहली ये कि सेलेक्टिव बेसिस पे इस कोर्स के लिए बैंक लोन भी अवेलेबल हैं. दूसरी चीज़, इस कोर्स के लिए वी आर हैविंग स्कॉलरशिप्स ऑल्सो. जो छात्र किसी कारणवश फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट्स की वजह से कई बार इस तरह के प्रोग्राम्स ज्वाइन नहीं कर पाते, उनके लिए हमने स्कॉलरशिप्स भी शुरू की हुई हैं. MLA बेस्ड, पॉलिटिकल बेस्ड स्कॉलरशिप्स हैं. अगर आप किसी भी पॉलिटिकल एग्जीक्यूटिव, किसी हेड ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन को अगर आप जानते हैं और आपका अच्छा रेफरेंसेस हमें इंस्टीट्यूट में मिलते हैं, तो वी हैव एन अपॉर्चुनिटी दैट यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर दीज स्कॉलरशिप्स विच आर वर्थ 25,000 rupees. So for more information on the scholarships, on admission details and other aspects of the program, you can contact my colleagues outside. Thank you so much and wish you all the best for your career ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lal. I would request all the aspiring students to please visit our stalls outside. There are counselors available. They will guide you. They will discuss one-on-one case. So please take an opportunity. Please take an advantage of discussing with them. Now moving forward, let us now have some brief introduction to UPSC. The first Public Service Commission was set up on October 1st, 1926. With the onset of the new constitution of independent India on 26th January 1950. The Federal Public Service Commission was accorded a constitutional status as an autonomous entity and given the title Union Public Service Commission. The major role played by the Commission is to select the person to man the various central civil services and posts and the services common to Union as well as the states. The Commission has recently successfully introduced changes in the civil services preliminary examinations. It now is looking at bringing some changes in its main examination. These changes are consistent with the need of selecting right kind of person from the huge pool of consisting multiple languages, cultures and communities. This year, now please pay attention, this is going to be really interesting and important for all of us. This year, in all the categories together, almost 998 students have made it through UPSC Civil Services Examination 2012. And hold your breath. The highest score attended in the Civil Service Examination this time is 1,193 and the lowest was 802. Now let us hear some of the most glorious results of UPSC Civil Services Examination 2012 as per the final rankings declared by UPSC in general category. Total score in mains 950, interview 198, totaling to a magnificent total of 1,148. Roll number 38970, UPSC Central Services Examination, rank 3. Let us welcome with a big round of applause, Stuti Charan. The clapping should continue with a total score in the men's 919, interview score 230, totaling to amazing score of 1,149. Roll number 494891, UPSC Civil Services Examination 2012, rank 2. Let us welcome with a big round of applause, Mr. Sriram V. And now, it's a time for big one. Total scores in mains 1,013. Score of interview 180, reaching to a mesmerizing total of 1,193. Roll number 75502, UPSC Central Civil Examinations 2012, rank 1. A big round of applause for Haritha Kumar.
and do not let your spirits fall. Along with the toppers, we definitely would like to appreciate and congratulate all other candidates who have cleared this UPSC exam 2012. A big round of applause for everyone who has cleared it for this year. Thank you. However, along with intelligence as one of the basic prerequisites for clearing the examination, there is a three-pointer as a success mantra for this. Work hard, hard work, and work hard. That's all I can say. And who else but these three toppers can definitely tell us how they went about clearing these examinations and giving a message. लहरों से डरकर नौका पार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती. I would like to welcome all these three candidates, all these three successful candidates of UPSC exam 2012 to share with us their discipline, their experiences, their study schedule to enlighten all of us, the aspiring UPSC candidates, and also we, the people, as to how to crack this UPSC examination. I request to begin with Ms. Stuti Charan, and I request her to share for about 5 minutes, followed by Mr. Sriram and then by Harita Kumari, after which we will throw this session open for question and answers. We have a lot of questions coming in from various students, aspiring candidates of UPSC, to whom these people should be able to guide. Stuti Charan.
First of all, a very good morning to all of you and a great namaskar to all. And it is an honor to be here and I'm sharing the place with all of you. It is an honor to be here and to share the experiences we had, all the UPSC toppers, they had during their preparations. So it is such a privilege to be here and to share my experiences that how I managed to clear this. To begin with, I would like to just say that we all had dreams. And there are some people who chase their dreams, there are some who forget their dreams, and I was the one who saw the dream to be in the top list of UPSC exams. I chased it very staunchly, and I'm really glad, I'm really blessed that after 3 years I got this a good rank of third on this list of UPSC 2012. So the journey was a bit tough for me, and I would not say that it was totally tough and full of disappointments. It was a journey where I learned a lot. I learned how to be patient and what more things I have to bring, what more things I have to add to clear this examination. And I'm really blessed that I have got a great support of my parents and my sister and one of my best friends, Professor Manoj Bhatt, who is a great motivator from Career Cafe and Clinic Private Limited. And these 4 people were the 4 pillars, boost pillars for me, who carried me throughout this journey of UPSC examination. There were many times I failed twice, and they told me that it is not an easy job, it is a dream for many people, and you are opting it. So please be very focused over it. And the tougher is your dream, the tougher is your journey, the sweeter is the reward you get at the last. And the same thing happened with me too. And the schedule for the preparation was just when you get up in the morning, you just see the newspapers, and that was the day. That's how the day used to begin. And with a sip of tea, which I used to make before reading the newspapers. And the choice of examination. And first thing is that you should be focused what you want to do. And if you're opting for the career of an IAS, IPS or any other services that our country has, we must value the target first. Because if you are not valuing what you are going to do and why you are going for that particular examination, until or unless you are doing self-analysis of yourself, you won't be able to carry this journey of 1 year at least properly. So I had this thing in mind throughout that I must not let my confidence get lowered at any point of time. So there is a saying that people remember what you achieve and not what you promised to achieve. So that thing kept me motivated that I have to clear this examination anyhow. I will put my best as much I can. And for all the UPSC aspirants who are here, I would just like to share that what kind of studies I managed. I had an optional subjects of botany and agriculture. And people often are comprehensive that to take both the science subjects, it's really tough job to clear the examination. But I don't think so. If you are determined, if you know that you can manage to clear the examination with your own choice of subjects, you please go ahead with that. Because if you have decided that you want to perform with these subjects, no one else will stop you. It is your duty. It is your self-belief that you must keep with your subjects and kind of preparation strategy you make for yourself. Generate your own strategy, because we people will just give you some add-ons that what you can do, what you should not do. But every person is different. They have their own way to to develop a kind of strategy, how they have to study, how they should focus on particular subjects and particular topics. So please make your own strategy, whosoever is sitting here, and just earn more and more blessings, because these things really play a part in your life. Because often we run away from the philosophy of life that we don't need blessings, only hard work matters. It does. But other than that, you must value yourself, you must value your dreams, you must value the blessings that you earn throughout your journey, because they actually help you to pay at the last. And the general studies paper, optional papers, they are very lengthy, and yes, you have to start somewhere. People often ask from where we should start and how we should start. The thing is that please start somewhere. The things will come to you automatically, because you will be more and more imbibed how to deal with the UPSC examination. You will be able to deal with the kind of subjects, the kind of updates you can make. And I'm a graduate in biotechnology, so I have studied botany and zoology. But I took agriculture. I have that respect for this agriculture subject, and more or less I had a smart decision. I knew it that botany and agriculture, they have a 80% similarity in UPSC examination, and being a biotech student I had an edge, because in both the papers you got to have some biotech questions like genetics and all sort of latest developments regarding genetic engineering. So that's how you have to make your own choices. Please do not go with the choice of other people. Whosoever is suggesting you to pick up the subjects, use your own mind, use your own intrinsic capability to perform in that particular subject. So choose the way you want, choose the subjects that you want, in which you can perform better. Please don't go for wild guesses and the kind